I think
Yeah,
I'm sure you deal with that as a CTO as well every day.
all the
Is you
time.
have to make so many different decisions at your level. So, can you share a little bit more about, especially when it comes to balancing the act of being a technical leader as well as a business leader?
Yeah. I think one thing is I sometimes use this 6P framework that I've come up with. And it says, the people, it says productivity, passion, which I use it for culture. Then there's platform, products, and process. Okay. 6Ps. If you deep dive into, let's say, people side, let's say how you lead your team, how you do succession planning and interviews and onboarding and promotions and performance management and etc. etc. Lots of details within each of these P titles. Um, so I think as a CTO, sometimes if you are growing as an engineering leader, and let's say you're a good manager, senior manager, director, I think sometimes I have seen that engineering leaders do not realize, they think that it's just a natural progression and they can just be a CTO. Being a CTO means you have to know across all these dimensions that I have just mentioned. So it's not like you're just going to be a technical person and then somehow somebody else is going to handle that. So as a CTO, you have to deal with that, and you have to have knowledge and expertise, quick decision making, like we discussed. How do you problem solve across all of these? So that balance is across all of that. So it's not technical versus just the people management.
Right.
So sometimes you need, again, platform issues. Sometimes you have to come back and let's say you deal with a very difficult incident, right? Sometimes your guidance is needed, or communication, or encouragement, or all this. So you have to be on top of all of these as a CTO. It's a multi-dimensional job as a result of that, and um, you have to know enough from each one of these areas. Of course, it helps a lot if you have done these things before. I mean, let's say the simplest thing is interview process. I have designed this so many times in so many different companies that it comes as second nature when I go to another company. And of course, you adapt to that company's requirements. But if you say that I'm going to learn on the job across all of these, and these are just 6 dimensions, but underneath there are so many other subcategories of things you need to do, that will take time, and that's going to make your life more difficult. So
Mhm.
I think it's a good idea to have that kind of a multidimensional experience and learning as much as possible before you jump into something of this nature.
Right. I think it's you said it very eloquently. In like there's the 6P, and so it's easy to remember. So I just want to, if you don't mind, repeat it again, just so everybody gets the 6P and kind of thinks about it that way.
Yes, yes. So one is people side, right? People come first, number one priority, the biggest asset of any company. Second thing is productivity. So I tell my team all the time that speed is the only advantage of any company. How fast you move matters a lot. So as a result, productivity is part of that. And underneath, again, right, it's not just like I'm measuring, using Dora metrics or whatever. There are so many details across that. I have a LinkedIn article actually I have written about that, why
Mhm.
productivity is also multidimensional.
Mhm.
Third one is culture, but I am finding a word that starts with P, so I call it passion. It also, if you're not enthusiastic and passionate about what you are doing and all that, it affects the culture actually. So that's why I think it's a good word for that. So the fourth one is platform, right? Platform. My definition of platform is it helps you to move faster, and it helps you to do things easier. Not only actually for you, but also third parties. So otherwise, it's not a good platform. Doesn't matter. It's not about the code quality, how the code looks like, or whatever. It's just, does it make you move faster,
Mhm.
right? And that's the platform side. Fifth one is the products, definitely the products that you are building or features that you are building on top of the platform. And last one is the everything that's associated with process, right? How do you do monitoring? How do you do you know incident management? How do you do alerting? All the things around that one. So these are the 6 Ps
Yeah.
that I try to use, and it's very easy to explain, and it's also very easy to if you say what you have done as a CTO, then starting with these titles. is a good idea. I recently heard somebody added performance. They had 4 Ps, but they were including performance as one of those. So I think everybody has their own definition of these, but I thought these are generic enough to cover most of the things that at least I'm doing.